Okay. We are live. And give me 1 second. Do more people join us? All right. Okay, everybody. So we are live, and this is the Sunday feast program for some of you, and it's the Monday feast program for those of you in Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji. And many of you are driving your car on the way to work or something. It's interesting to see this. So what we're going to do is we normally do, we're going to have a little dance before this program. And because of the Sunday feast program, we are going to continue with our Brajmandal Parikrama, which I assured you I would finish, but hopefully I will finish today. We were trying to finish in the month of Kartik, but Kartik is way over now. And we were in the middle of December. So first we'll have our dance by the expert dancer, Champaka, and we're going to share the screen to show you the dance. And then we'll continue. Here we go. All righty, here we go. And dance away. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parvatikacharya Ostuteta Satashi Shimad. His Divine Grace Sabaya Chananara Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Hilas Thakur Ki Jai. Parem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhaktabhrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Shyam Kun Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Vituradam Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Shrimati Lasi Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deja Tarane. So Om Gana Timidanda Shah Gananjana Shlakya Chakshunan Miditam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha. So I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So kindly opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge while I was blinded in the darkness of ignorance. So anyway, so this evening we are going to continue with sound is breaking up. Is the sound breaking up for everybody? No. Only for you, Sumuk. Everybody else seems all right with the sound. So, so this evening, or this morning, depending on who you are. See, there's another chat message. Okay. This evening, we're going to continue with our Brajmanda Parikrama, and hopefully we can finish it today. If not, we'll do it next week. This is our Sunday Feast program, and many people are watching on YouTube and on Facebook simultaneously. So, let's continue. So in this particular portion of, let me just uncheck these things. Oh, actually, let's go back to the other one. Wait a second. There's another one I want to share. In this particular portion, we are going from, we were going from Sanket to Kokilavan to Yava to Tera Kadamba to Brindakun and Nandagan. So this is going to be a very adventurous pilgrimage. So let's start. And here's the map again. So you get an idea. Previously, we were at Barshana. And when you leave Barshana, the last one we did was Barshana. Of course, we started Uchagan, which is Lalita's village. Whoops. Let's go back. And we also were at Kamyavan before. And we did Kedarnath before, Badrinath and Adri Badari. And so Sanket is right in between Nandagan and Barshana, and that's where Radha and Krishna would meet. And the Yogamaya deity is there. And of course, Yogamaya, she facilitates all the pastimes between Radha and Krishna. And this is where the midnight pastimes of Radha and Krishna took place. The midday pastimes took place in Radhakund, and the midnight pastimes took place in Sanket. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami had one of his main bhajan kutirs here in Sanket, and there are wonderful swinging pastimes between Radha and Krishna that occurs here. These are the Radha Krishna deities in Sanket, indicating the meeting of Radharani and Krishna. Here's a little temple that's there. This is Gopal Bhatta. Actually, this is Gopal Bhatta Goswami's bhajan kutir in Sanket. course, it didn't look exactly like this. It wasn't as opulent as this when Gopal Bhatta Goswami was there. But later on, it became developed by the devotees. And another set of deities there is the Radha Sanket Bihari. And there you have, on either side, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And next we get, very close to Sanket, is a place called the Sheshavan. And this is, of course, a temple to Lord Shiva. And it represents a wonderful pastime between Lord Shiva and Krishna. Once upon a time, Lord Shiva came to Nanda and Yashoda Mai's house, and he wanted to see little baby Krishna. And so what happened, Yashoda got very, very frightened because she saw Lord Shiva and he was just filled with bones and everything like that. She said, "You cannot come." So Lord Shiva went out. He refused to enter the house because he was prohibited from entering the house. And Krishna started crying and crying and crying and crying. And Nanda and Yashoda asked Krishna, "What's wrong?" And he says, "I wanted to see this sage." And Yashoda Maya felt so guilty. She sent for Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva was able to come back. Krishna stopped crying, and then Lord Shiva actually replied, "I just want to see Krishna and eat his remnants." So even today, the pujaris offer remnants from the Radha and Krishna deities to Lord Shiva. So this happened in the Seshavan, a wonderful temple of Lord Shiva. And here's the lake there, or Kund, at the Seshavan. Some of the devotees who were with us, they were much younger at that particular time. So here's another interesting map. So we had Nandishra, and then Pavan Sarovar, Sanatana Goswami's Bhajan Kutir, and these are all the different kunds and locations surrounding Nandishra. Nandishra Hill, that's considered, Nandishra, of course, is considered a incarnation of Lord Shiva, just like the hill is actually. Just like Govardhan is an incarnation of Krishna. Here it is. And here we are climbing up the hill in Nandagan. And Krishna lived here from the age of 7 to 10 years of age. And Lord Shiva performed austerities here to get the dust of Krishna's lotus feet in Nandagan. Now, many years before Krishna appeared, Parjanya Maharaj, the grandfather of Krishna and father of Nanda Maharaj, was told by Narada Muni to make his home here. After that, before Krishna's birth, the whole family moved to Gokula and then came back here when Krishna was about 7 years of age. Krishna appeared in Gokula and then later on was moved here because there were too many demons in Gokula. And the deities there, these are the deities discovered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was climbing this hill, Nandagan, and he came to a cave and he saw, oh, there's deities of 2 young boys and their mother and father. And of course, that was Nanda Maharaj and Krishna and Balaram. So this is beautiful, beautiful deities in this temple. Another deity in Nandagan, which have Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. And then it's Krishna to the side, Nanda Maharaj in the middle. And Sanatana Goswami also had his Bhajan Kutir near Nandagan. Near Nandagan is a place called Pavana Sarovar. This is where Radha and Krishna bathed. And Radha cooked lunch on the bank of this river for Krishna. And there's also, that's close to the Bhajan Kutir of Sanatana Goswami. Close to there is a place called Gupta Kund, where Radha and Krishna would also meet daily. And this is one of the 3 what we call yoga peeths. That means the special places where Radha and Krishna would meet. One is Radha Kund, and the other one is near the Govindaji temple. They would meet in the morning at Gupta Kund, and in midday they would meet at Radha Kund, as I mentioned before, and at night near the Radha Govinda temple area. So they had these 3 what's called yoga peeths in which they met on a regular basis. So the next place is called Vrinda Kund. And then this Vrinda Kund is a very special place because Vrinda, who is an expansion of Yogamaya, contemplates how to arrange Radha and Krishna's pastimes every day. So she has one of her disciples named Daksha, was a parrot, and this Daksha has 100,000 parrot disciples. And these 100,000 parrot disciples, they fly all over. There's the green parrots that many of you have seen in Vrindavan. And they fly all over Braj, reporting on what's happening and preparing the grounds for Radha and Krishna's conjugal loving affairs. Purnamashi is the guru of Vrinda Devi. So he's the beautiful deity. And this deity is being taken care of by devotees under the guidance of Dinabandhu Prabhu, one of my godbrothers, at Vrindakund. There's also other beautiful deities at Vrindakund, Lalita Bihari, and this is actually at Lalita Kund, which is right connected with Vrindakund. Okay. This is where Lalita arranges secret meetings between Radha and Krishna. And this is based upon the story where Krishna warned Radharani that she should be very careful about making friends with Narada Muni, because one day Narada Muni pleased Krishna, and Krishna said, "What do you want?" Krishna gave him his wish, and he said, "I wish to see you and Lalita swinging." So Krishna did it. Narada went to Radharani's house and reported what was happening. Radharani came back very angry, and Krishna pacified her by explaining and asked her never to trust Narada Muni again. Next beautiful place is called Terakadamba, which is actually Rupa Goswami's place, where he did quite a bit of his bhajan. In this place, Krishna grazed his cows. Radharani walked by here on the way from Yavat to Nandagram. And all the excess buttermilk of Yashodamai was thrown here. The beautiful deities that are brought out from the inside temple every day of Krishna and Balaram. It's a very beautiful garden spot. Here's a very close picture of Krishna and Balaram. This beautiful deity is taken care of so nicely. So, let's see what else. Oh, Rupa Goswami's Bhajan Kutir at Terakadamba. And the grounds, the devotees taking darshan of the deities and having a nice bhajan at Terakadamba. It's a very beautiful place. You have these trees growing all over the place, forming a canopy. And this is like a panorama of Terakadamba, the lake, the Kund right near Terakadamba. Some views of Terakadamba. Very, very beautiful place. One of the most beautiful places there in Braj. And there you see some of the devotees, and that's Dinabandhu to the left, guiding the devotees on the Braj Mandal Parikrama. More views of Terakadamba. And then, after that, we get to a place called Kadiravan. Kadiravan is where Krishna dressed up as a cuckoo to try to call the gopis. That was this secret call. Cuckoo, cuckoo. And Radharani came and joined him. That's what it's called. Kadiravan, and the Bhajan Kutir of Lokanath Goswami is there. Not our Lokanath Maharaj in ISKCON, but Lokanath Goswami, who was the associate of the Goswamis in Vrindavan. And Yavat is a place where Radharani and her so-called husband, mother-in-law, and sister-in-law lived. Mother-in-law was Jatila, sister-in-law was Kutila, and they were quite ugly. At least they're depicted as very ugly. They always try to interfere with Radha and Krishna's pastimes, but by trying to interfere with Radha and Krishna's pastimes, they made the pastimes much more spicy. So this is in Yavat, and this is the top of Radharani's house in Yavat, looking out on the whole village of Yavat, and the ugly deities Jatila, Kutila, and Abhimanyu. And you see they didn't take care of the deities too well. That's quite understandable, because most people are not so much favorable to Jatila, Kutila, and Abhimanyu. Of course, Abhimanyu is the so-called husband of Radharani, but he never even touched Radharani or never even went near her. It was just an illusory marriage, as was the marriage of all the other gopis that were so-called married. Just illusory marriages. Here's Jatila, the mother-in-law, so-called mother-in-law, and Abhimanyu, so-called husband. And you see he has the same complexion as Krishna. That's why it was very easy for Krishna sometimes to dress himself as Abhimanyu and trick Jatila and Kutila into thinking that he was Abhimanyu so he could meet with Radharani in Yavat in Radharani's house. And here's one of Vrinda's famous parrots. You'll see them all over Vrindavan. And they follow, sometimes they would follow us everywhere just to report to Vrinda Devi what we were doing to make sure we weren't rascals. And this is Kokilavan, which I mentioned before, where Krishna took the form and the voice of a parrot to call out for Srimati Radharani. It's also a very beautiful place. This is in far west Braj, so it's very, very peaceful. There's no big crowds in this particular place. You could sit and chant. One thing would be nice is if the devotees would do a walking parikrama, not with a big crowd, just like with 3 or 4 devotees and just camp out of these various places. One of the reasons I never did the Braj Mandal with the big crowd is because I can't relate to big crowds, but I would go with 2 or 3 people as long as we were protected, because it can get dangerous at night. These are the deities at Kokilavan, parrot deities. Near there's another imprint of Krishna's lotus feet, and that's called Charna Bahari. This is where Krishna took prasadam, and he also fed the cows. And Krishna, when he played his flute, the rocks would melt. And Bahari actually means hill. Near that, whoops, I think we need to go to another one. Okay, we'll stop sharing, and we'll go to the next slideshow, if that's all right with all of you. This is very enjoyable for me. Whoops, where is the next slideshow? Hold on a second. We have to, I'll find it. Okay, this is Raj Mando Parikrama. Raj Mando Parikrama. Give me 1 second. Okay, we ended up with Terakadamba, and the next one is Sheshai Krishna. Okay. Let me start this slideshow. All right, let me share the screen with all of you. Here we go. Okay, next we're going to a place called Sheshai, Ramgat, and Chiragat, Sheshai Krishna. So we are right up here now. So remember, we started today around here, Nandagan, Sanket, Nandagan, and we go to here, and the Sheshai is all the way up here. And Sheshai, it's a very interesting story regarding Sheshai. When Prabhupada was on Brajmandal Parikrama with the spiritual master and the group of devotees, they made an announcement that one night they were going to go see the deity of Sheshai, Vishnu, which you'll see in a second. And they said, everybody can go see the deity, and anyone who wants to stay back can stay back and hear from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This will be his last night on Parikrama. And everyone went out except for Prabhupada and maybe 1 or 2 other devotees. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was more pleased with Prabhupada for staying back, and he noted, oh, he likes to hear about Krishna. So, in other words, Prabhupada was thinking, what am I going to gain by seeing the deity? But hearing from my spiritual master is infinitely more important than going to see this deity. So sometimes we just have this, almost like a Kanishta Adhikari conception that simply seeing different things is going to make us more Krishna conscious. Of course, you go to see Krishna, there's nothing wrong with it, it's wonderful. But the real point of going to a holy place is to take the association with great personalities. Otherwise, you're going to the holy place is, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, like the going to the river of cows or asses. Yatirtha buddhi shalile and karishit chaneshu abhiyeshu seva gokura. Because the cows and the asses, they also go drink in the water. And of course, in the Ganges. And of course, they get great spiritual benefit. But the real spiritual benefit is from hearing and associating with great sages, because the description is that a moment's association with the great devotees is more valuable than repeated bathings in the Ganges River. So this Seshai deity Prabhupada did not see, but he actually took association with his spiritual master. This is Chirasagara, which means the milk ocean, basically, which is right near the Seshai deity. And this is the Seshai deity. You see, basically, you can see Lord Brahma appearing from Seshai Vishnu, and then Lakshmi there. Whoops. Anyway. And you can see all the demigods back there. This is Seshai Vishnu. So you'll get a lot more hearing from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And the story of this deity is 5,000 years old, installed by Brajanava, Krishna's great-grandson. Krishna told the gopis one time, "I am God, Shesha." And they said, "You are not, we challenge you." And then he called for Sheshanag, and he lied down on them. And the gopis saw he was. And then all the gopis and gopas assumed the form of 33 million demigods and goddesses at that particular juncture. So that was the story of Seshai Vishnu. A very interesting story surrounding these deities. That, of course, these deities were installed by Brajanava. Kailavan, we go to next. Here's where Krishna and Balaram played here. And this, of course, is a Dauji deity, Dauji and Rebati. And a very close-up of Dauji in Kailavan. And next we go to Ramagat. Ramagat is, remember the story when Balaram returned to Vrindavan to carry Krishna's message to the gopis, and he danced with his own gopis for 2 months? And this is where he did it, on the banks of the Yamuna. And he had his pastimes, wonderful pastimes Balaram had. When he was drunk with the Varuni beverage, he was calling the Yamuna to come closer and closer and closer. And Yamuna Devi refused to come. And so he got so angry, he took his plow out and started scratching the ground. And in this particular place, you can actually see the places where Balaram scratched the ground. It was called Ramagat. And this is the deity of Dauji at Balaram at Ramagat. And here's the Yamuna. Of course, the Yamuna has actually receded, so you can't see all the places of the scratching, but you can basically see some of the places where Balaram scratched the ground here. And this is Ramagat. That means the bathing place of Balaram. So Ramagat. And near Ramagat, there's a place. Of course, right now, let me explain that we're on the other side of the Yamuna, on the eastern shore of the Yamuna. We just jumped over the Yamuna after we were at Sheshai and other places like that. So Ramagat is where Balaram. I'm sorry. This is not Ramagat. This is Viharavan. Viharavan is where the coward boys played as turtles. They made believe that they were turtles. They had all these wonderful, cool pastimes as coward boys. And these are the deities. Viharavan, Radha, Kunjabihari means Krishna is playing in the kunjas of the bushes with Srimati Radharani. Nearby there, this is this Akshavat, this banyan tree, Akshavat tree, which is 5,000 years old. And on this tree, just Krishna and his friends hung their lunch bags when they go swimming in the Yamuna. Next, we're going to get to the place, before we get there, Akshayvat. And this is also where Lord Ram came. Lord Ram, Sita Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman came. Next, we get to this place called Chirgat. Now, this is the story we're reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning. This is the place where Krishna gathered all the gopis' clothes while they were bathing in the Yamuna River. And of course, they were bathing naked in the Yamuna River. This was after the whole month of them performing what we call Katyayani Vrat. Why were they performing Katyayani Vrat, the worship of Katyayani, who in this case is actually Yogamaya, in order to get Krishna as their husband? So Krishna fulfilled their wish on the final day, and on the final day, of course, even Radharani appeared. And Radharani, she wasn't there the whole month, but she appeared on the final day to bathe with these young gopis. Of course, she wasn't in that particular group, but she actually appeared on the final day. And Krishna stole all their clothes, so they had to come out of the river completely naked, and Krishna demanded that so that they could get their clothes. And by doing that, he indicated that they were his wives. So Krishna fulfilled his desire and their desire by this particular pastime. This happened at Chirgat, stealing the gopis' clothes. Whoops, actually we went backwards. And this is the deity that the gopis worship, Katyayani at Chirgat. It's wonderful. We're just reading about this in the morning. And these aren't the same clothes the gopis had over 5,000 years ago, but this may be the same tree. And these clothes being tied to the tree replicate what happened over 5,000 years ago. So this is the place that Krishna did that. And here you see the gopis' clothes hanging from the tree. And there may be a little deity of Krishna in the tree too. And as you see, the Yamuna has actually receded. You can see the Yamuna in the background. She's receded because she doesn't have as much water in her as she had during that time, because the Yamuna River is actually blocked up above Delhi. You have the Yamuna coming from the Himalayas, and then there's the dams. There's actually 2 or 3 dams, which are called barrages, and they block the flow of the Yamuna. And what you see in the water, the riverbed of the Yamuna right now, is not actually the Yamuna water. It is water from the sewage and the industrial runoff from Delhi. But this is the place where Krishna actually went up in the tree. So you can imagine, this tree is very old. Of course, it didn't look the same way over 5,000 years ago. So you can imagine, like, Krishna sitting up there in the tree and teasing the gopis and asking them to come out of the water without their clothes on and with their hands on their heads so he could see their entire bodies and offer obeisances. Another view of the tree and the Yamuna in the background. This is very exciting to see this. And all these cute little kids there. Another view of the Yamuna and the tree. And these places, as I said before, are very, very quiet. Here's another view of Chirgat and some of the devotees sitting by the tree were with me. Actually, some of these devotees, they were very young then, and so was I. Next we go to Nandagat. And Nandagat is where Nanda Maharaj was abducted by Varuna's servants, and Krishna had to save him. Jiva Goswami lived here in a crocodile hole. Wow. Oh my God. So there's many crocodiles in the river, in the Yamuna River. And actually the crocodile is the carrier of Yamuna Devi, or Ganga Devi, one of the two. I forget right now. Anyway, and so because of these crocodile holes, sometimes the sages would live in the crocodile holes. This is the deities of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mai. A very ancient tree there. Ooh, that's the end of that slideshow. And I think we have one more slideshow to finish up our Braj Bando Parikrama. Maybe we'll do that today. No, we actually have 2 more slideshows. All right, let me get this one started. second. We'll go rather quickly so we can hopefully finish it up today. So this next to the last one is called Vajravan, Bandiravan, and Bilvan, and Manasarovara. Alrighty. Let's go forward. And of course, these are all on the eastern bank of the Yamuna. This is the Bhadravan temple. In Bhadravan, the coward boys had many pastimes, and there was a Shiva temple that was established by Brajanabha. This is called Bhadrishvara Shiva, who was guardian of this particular aspect of the holy Dham. Brajanabha, of course, is Krishna's great-grandson. And there's Durga deity there. And the Radha Krishna deities are called Radha Bhadra Bihari. Another view of Radha Bhadra Bihari. And next we get to Bandiravan. Bandiravan is where Balaram killed Pralambasura. Jiva Goswami says that Radha and Krishna were married here, and Brahma was the priest. This is also described in the Adi Varaha Purana, and the Garga Samhita also describes this. Here's the marriage between Radha and Krishna. This is actually performed as a play. This is where this marriage was supposed to take place, and Lord Brahma was supposed to associate, or as the priest at this particular point, and the Adi Varaha Purana and Garga Samhita describe it here. Here are the devotees sitting on this marriage platform, performing the marriage for Radha and Krishna, and you see Lord Brahma, the priest, right there to the left of Radha and Krishna. Bandiravan. Bandiravan means the joining of the two cloths, the tying of the two cloths. Here's another close-up of Lord Brahma doing the marriage. And here's Balaram, who killed Pralambasura. Pralambasura acted as a coward boy. And Balaram was being carried away by Pralambasura, and he said, "My, how this carrier has changed." And then he killed him, hit him on the head and killed him. The Venu Kupa, this is a well that Krishna created with his flute in which all the holy rivers reside. It's called the Venu Kupa, right in Bandiravan. Very nice well. Then we get to the famous Vamshivat, which you hear in the song Holy Places in Vrindavan. Vamshivat, there is a temple to Sridham, and he's waiting for Krishna to return from Mathura. Sridham is the older brother of Srimati Radharani. It's a very famous place. And here's Sridham waiting for Krishna to return, and he's at Vamshivat. Another deity, another view of the deity of Krishna and Sridham, and you actually see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu too. Yeah. Another view of the deities there. These are rare, rare pictures. And Gopishra Mahadev resides here too. Gopishra Mahadev, of course, is Lord Shiva, who guards the holy Dham in the form of a gopi, so he can actually perceive the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Next we get to Balavan. It's a picnic place for Radha and for Krishna and his friends, and this is where Lakshmi performed austerities for 1,000 celestial years to become a gopi, but she couldn't do it because she didn't want to give up her position as a gopi. Very, very special place. These are right on the Yamuna, Bailalvan. Here's Lakshmi performing her austerities, the deity of Lakshmi, of course. Another view of the deity of Lakshmi performing austerities. Then Vilvan, that's Bailvan, same thing. Temple there. More views. Then we get to the Manasarovara. Manasarovara is the anger lake. Radharani came here when she was angry with Krishna. Shoo! And Krishna had to actually beg for forgiveness right here. It's also said that Lord Shiva came here to become a gopi when he bathed here. And here's Radha and Krishna. Here's Krishna begging at Radharani's feet and crying. That's why we say that Krishna is always controlled or twisted around the little finger of Srimati Radharani. Even the trees there They're all bowing down and crying for Radharani's mercy. This is the temple there. Manasarovara temple. And here's the Lord Shiva, the guardian of the Manasarovara temple. Next we get to Lohavan. And Lohavan is where Jarasandha was defeated 18 times by Krishna. And Krishna rode the gopis across this Kund, and there was a demon named Lohasura who was killed by Krishna here, therefore it's called Lohavan. And these are the Lohavan deities. Whoops. And just one more slideshow. We want to finish today with the Brajmando Parikrama, if that's all right. This is very, very interesting. Hold on 1 second. We will get to the last slideshow. It'll take us 1 second. I just want to close some of these other slideshows. All right, give me 1 second. The last of the slideshows for Brajmando Parikrama. And this last one is really important. And we're almost finished, actually pretty quick. Brajmando Parikrama. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. All right, and we'll share this with all of you. Oops, give me a second to share it. Oops. I think I'm sharing the wrong one. Hold on a second. Stop the share. One second. Screen. There we go. Whoops. I just. Huh. Oh, wait a second. Let me just make sure I'm sharing the right one. I just want to finish this today. 1 second. Yeah, sharing the right one. So this is called Gokula, Ramananda Ghat, and Raval. So this is called Gokula. And let's go ahead with this. Hold on a second. Let's see, hold on. Got to advance this thing. A little bit of. Okay. So let's start with Dauji. Okay, the Dauji refers to Balaram. And this is the Dauji temple that's there on the eastern side of the Jamuna River. And you can see Dauji is the presiding deity. The view from the top of the temple. And Balaram, that's the Dauji, the presiding deity. Right near her there's a very interesting ghat. Of course, Revati is there too. There's the Chir Sagar, which is filled with milk from 100,000 cows offered to the Balaram deity. The deity was discovered in this particular Kund. Right near this Kund, there's a beautiful deity of Lord Shiva. Here's Balaram, of course, observing the fight between Duryodhana and Bhimsen, which is supposed to have happened here, actually. And also near here is the pastime of Damodar pastime, which Krishna pulls the two trees down with Nali Kuvara and Manigriva. There's supposed to be a deity of Lord Shiva. And near here also is the pastime of Balaram killing. No, that's not near here, but just the pastime of Balaram killing the Danagasura demon. And Balaram pulling the Yamuna River, which we talked about before. Because this is a place of Balaram, so all of Balaram's pastimes are depicted here. And Balaram killing Palambasura, and Balaram and Krishna with Yashodamai, and Balaram telling about Krishna eating dirt, and Gargamuni talking about the future of Balaram and Krishna killing Kamsa. Near there's a deity of Lord Shiva called 1008, Chincha Haran. Now, the word Chincha Haran means the deity who steals away your anxiety. So there's 1008 deities within this one deity, and I think I have a close-up of it. No, maybe I didn't. There's the Chincha Radha Krishna deities. Let's go back there. I don't know if you can see on the side, there's imprinted 1008 Lord Shiva deities on the side of the Shiva Linga. And there's the Chincha Yamuna Ghat right near there. And also near there is another interesting pastime, the Brahmananda Ghat. And this is the place where Mother Yashoda looked in the mouth of Krishna and she saw all the universes after Krishna was accused of eating dirt. She not only saw all the universes, she saw herself and Krishna and amazing things. And then Krishna again pulled his Yogamaya potency so that she would only think of him as her son. And that's Brahmananda Ghat. And at Brahmananda Ghat, sometimes we buy the dirt and eat the dirt. There's the Ghat along the Yamuna River. The deities there are called Brahmananda Bihari. And this is where the pastime of Krishna pulling down the two Arjuna trees occurred. Yashodamai and Krishna. And this is the grinding mortar. Supposedly, that's the same grinding mortar that Krishna was attached to. I have my doubts about it. And the devotees offering their respects to the grinding mortar. And there's the Ulta Banda Damodar. That means Damodar who was bound. Banda, very much bound by the stomach with a rope by Mother Yashoda. And then finally we get to Gokul, where Krishna appeared. And this is exactly where the Damodar story took place. Krishna's early pastimes took place here. Krishna was born here, actually not in Mathura. In Mathura, there was the expansion of Krishna was born, and the expansion of Krishna, when he was brought by Vasudeva to Gokul, entered into Nanda Maharaj's son, or Yashodamaya's son, and that was Krishna in Vrindavan. Trinivarta was killed here, sorry. Some more views of Gokul. And these are different deities of Nanda, Yashoda, and Krishna. Beautiful deities there. And Nanda, Yashodamai, and some early pastimes that occurred there. There's many, many deities there. And this is, of course, Krishna killing the Putanas, or Putana deity, Yashodamai, and the grinding pot and the yogurt. And Sanatana Goswami also had his Bhajan Kutir here. Picture of Krishna and Yashodamai. Finally, we get to Rabal. And this deity was established by Brajanabha. This is where Radharani appeared. Described that Vrishabhanu went to the Yamuna to take bath here and saw a golden lotus flower with brilliant as millions of suns. And on that lotus flower, there was a little baby girl, and that was Radharani. Lord Brahma appeared and said, in the previous lives you performed austerities along with wife to get Radharani, and he took the little girl home. But the little girl was blind. Narada told them to perform the birth ceremonies, And they invited Narada to the birth ceremonies with baby Krishna. Krishna crawled before Radharani. She smelled Krishna and opened her eyes for the first time because she didn't want to come down to the material world and see any of the rascals until she could see Krishna first. This is the temple that commemorates the place where Srimati Radharani appeared. It's a Raval Lal behind. What was it called? Raval Lari Lal Bihari Temple. And these are the beautiful deities there of Radha and Krishna. And Radha and Krishna sleeping at night. And these are some of the depictions there of Radharani and her Sakis, little baby Radharani, and little baby Krishna, Radharani crawling. It's an amazing place. There's a close-up of Srimati Radharani crawling. And then the last slide. And this is our pilgrimage party. Not at Ravel. This is actually at a devotee's place, Gauramani's place and Param's place. This is at the end of our pastimes with some of the devotees who came with us around Braj. So I hope you enjoyed it very much, this Braj Bando Parikrama. Let's go back. Whoops. Some of you, I think, who are watching us were on this parikrama with us. So any quick questions? We finished it rather quickly. So let me unmute you so you can ask questions about Braj Bando Parikrama. 1 second. You are now allowed to unmute yourselves. Okay. Who has a question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh, let Madhava. Okay, let Madhava ask a question.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam. Gurudev. So when I'm looking when we can go next, I know I see this presentation, but I want to be with you physically there to go all this again. When that's going to happen?
When is it going to happen?
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get my vaccine this week.
Okay. I think you have to wait. I think you are in the third category. Yeah.
No, I have friends in the medical field.
Okay, so okay. All right. Okay, good.
So who knows? I may head for Vrindavan. Well, there's two vaccines. Too bad.
Yeah, that's correct.
I have to wait at least a month, and I head for Fiji, Vrindavan, with my vaccine certificate.
So, but we have to know in advance, so then all the devotees can come.
Yeah, seriously, I'll let you all know in advance when we're going to do this next. Maybe next Kartik.
I think because we don't know, Parikshit Maharaj knew he has to leave in 7 days. We don't know when we leave. So we need to see this parikrama as soon as possible.
All right. As soon as possible.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Talk to my doctor, to gives me the injection tomorrow. So
thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Yeah.
I think the earliest would be Kartik that we could do.
That's fine. I think that's fine. Kartik is not too far.
Not too far. Everybody's invited to come. All of you who are watching, invited to come.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
All right, and I guess everybody wants to come. Okay, so everybody, raise your hand in your video if you want to come. And those who have no video, you can't come. Okay, so that's funny.
Gurudev, this is Adidev Das, Gurudev.
Yeah.
I have a question, Gurudev. We have couple of places in Vrindavan where it says a Chirghat, and we have a couple of places where it's a Vamshivat. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So these pastimes happen like multiple times at different locations.
Either that or the residents of well, the places that I presented at Chirghat usually had, in those places, there were bhajan kutirs of different Goswamis, so you know that they were the actual place. Although you can say it happened in both places. Because yes, you're right. Because around right or close to Brindavan on the Brindavan Parikrama, the city of Brindavan Parikrama, you run into another Chirgat. You're absolutely right about that. So, but as far as the Goswamis of Vrindavan are concerned, the Chirgat that I showed today is the actual Chirgat. Now you'll hear different residents in Vrindavan saying something else, just like you'll hear people say that Radharani appeared in Barshana, but she didn't appear in Barshana. She appeared in Raval. So I'm just taking the messages given to us by our acharyas as to where Radharani appeared. I mean, I mentioned that when you go around Govardhan, you'll find that those who follow a different sampradaya will say that the mouth of Govardhan is somewhere else. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said it's in the Manasi Ganga. So we follow what our acharyas say.
Okay. Thank you, Gurudev.
Yes. Anyway, I didn't touch upon all the pastimes. You know, that's Jairadika just mentioned that we didn't have time to go through all the pastimes. But hopefully, if we take a few weeks to do this, we can see all the places and go through all the pastimes. Who else has a question? I see some people with their hands raised. That means they must have.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, I have a question. It's Kishori.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I also have a question. Where's my
Okay.
Tesla? Anyway.
So I just wanted to I know that Tulsi Devi, Brinda Devi is an expansion of Radharani, and that she's crucial to allowing us entry into Vrindavan. So
Right.
I wondered if you could please elaborate a little on how exactly she is an expansion of Radharani, and also what other expansions of Radharani are there. I mean, of course, there's Lakshmi and all of the consorts of
There's the Adi Shakti, there's the Asta Shakti,
Uh-huh.
Shaktis, the eight gopis. There's many expansions of Radharani, and all the Lakshmis are expansions of Radharani.
Yeah.
And any Shakti Tattva personality is ultimately an expansion of Radharani.
What about Parvati?
Yes, because Parvati is an expansion of Lakshmi.
Oh.
Lakshmi is an expansion of Radharani. Parvati is an expansion of Lakshmi. So
Okay. Thank you.
Yogamaya expands as Parvati. Yogamaya is the guru or guruini of Vaishnavi Diksha Guru. She's the guru of Brenda Devi.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
interesting. She's the
Yeah.
deity. Yogamaya is the deity. I mean, as the guru. Wow. I know some people in this kind will be pretty upset with that, having a female guru. So you better not tell some of our conservative people in this kind.
And what about Subhadra? Subhadra, we know is
Subhadra's
Krishna's
Yogamaya. Subhadra's Yogamaya.
Yogamaya.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's where I'm a bit confused, because there is the Simanta Dweep pastime where Parvati takes the parting, the dust on her parting. But then with Subhadra also, because I mean I was thinking that she is Krishna's sister. But
She
then
is.
right.
She is Krishna's sister, and she's also Yogamaya. I mean, Yogamaya can appear in many ways in Krishna's pastimes. It's not
Okay.
that Yogamaya is just confined to one particular location at one particular time.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Yes.
Okay, congratulations on your new car.
Oh, thank you, Guru Maharaj.
But she won't get me a car. So anyway, all right, so that's funny. All right, so who else has a question?
Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol Surama.
So Gurudev, how about then Durga Devi is the Shakti? What is her
Durga
position
Devi is
and how
Shakti.
does
She's an expansion of Yogamaya. Durga Devi is Mahamaya.
Mama, yeah.
Durga Devi is Mahamaya. Okay?
Thank you.
Gurudev,
Okay.
Yoga Maya is the external potency of Krishna, isn't it?
That's right. Radharani is the Adi Shakti of the Lord, and all the other Shakti Tattva personalities expand from Radharani. We are not Shakti Tattva, we're Jiva Tattva. Okay? We are Jiva Tattva. We are we are Vibhinangsa, not Swamsa. Anyway. So, time for one more question. Anybody have a question? Nobody else wants to go to Vrindavan. Too bad. Nobody else. Praneshra, do they still let you go to Vrindavan now that you're married? No, I guess not. So, he's not allowed to
Hare
go to
Krishna.
Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Gurudev,
Okay, that's Raja Leela. You have a question?
yes, like we've been to the Raval and we're also.
You've been to Raval. Yeah. Take your wife to Braj. Take your wife to Braj.
Yes,
That
yes,
will be
Gurudev.
your perfection. So so just one more. Braja Leela has a question.
Shruti does. It's Shruti. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. I was wondering if because Radharani is the Shakti potency of Krishna, and I was wondering that when like a devotee has that Shakti potency, if it's actually Radharani giving it, or is it actually Krishna?
Well, it depends on what Shakti. The Shakti comes from Bhakti. Bhakti is an expansion of Radharani. If you're talking about Bhakti Shakti, if you're talking about the preaching Shakti, it ultimately comes from Radharani and also from Balaram.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay, time to go. Thank you all for joining us and happy virtual feast. I hope you enjoy the prasadam. And tomorrow we'll continue again with our Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. And we're just hankering to be in Vrindavan. And just pray that this week we can get our vaccination so we can travel again. I am praying to Dhanvantari, the medical incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to allow me to get this vaccination this week. Okay. If you all